Hello, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, and welcome back to Solar Flare Competitive League. My name is Booker. I'm joined with the ever astute fellow. How is it, fellow? You ready for this match today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. We got a great lineup for the second division here. It's going to be Gunners in Paris versus Strike X. I'm incredibly excited to be here, Booker. I want to thank everyone for bringing me out tonight. And I believe you're one of the casters for one of these two teams. I believe it was Gunners in Paris. So you mind giving us a little bit of rundown about that team in particular?
Yeah, actually, both these teams are coming off of fantastic wins from last week, coming out ahead. Strike X took the win over Arise Esports, winning in two maps on Cafe and Oregon, and Gunners in Paris stomped Dark Space Esports. I love the Dark Space guys, but it ended very unfortunately with them. We have Jinx coming out yet again, rocking a 3.6 KD for both maps. Hit Oregon map. Whew, that was a killer. 7-1 overall. Gunners is looking to come into the playoffs roaring fast, man. I'm very excited to see how these two teams compete. But when it comes to Strikes X, right? They took Marine's spot coming into this season, came in with two losses, already have a win in their bag, and they're looking to grab their second. This would be a fantastic upset for them and securing their seat for playoffs instead.
Yeah, I believe for that 3.6 KD, or actually, yeah, KY with a 3.6 KD and one match, that 18, 3, and 5. These guys have some fantastic gunners. I mean, hey, one of the teams is called Gunners in Paris, so the name speaks for itself after all. I think it's going to be a fantastic game nonetheless. I mean, I don't really know if there's really much else to say, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's really telling so far about which division is kind of coming up ahead. Um, Division One has been overall, I would say, outside of Titus, overall kind of falling behind in the top echelon of players. Division Two has shown to be really the kill box for these teams. We have Gunners in Paris. We have Strike X as talked about before, but Amarok is also sitting in there. And while Dark Space kind of got it handed to them last week when it came to Gunners, I really think that they still have a solid roster, but that unfortunate change in their team roster, right, when they ended up having to bring their B team in, has really kind of handicapped them going in. So I'm not too sure. This might just be a three division team so far. Do you got any favorites go for the rest of the matches going on this week?
Rest of the week, honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm still pretty brand new to everything around here, so I kind of just want to have everything play out. Sort of, I don't really want to. I'm not that much of a betting man in most instances, so no, I
Oh
cannot
man,
say I am.
you're hurting my soul, man. Betting is what I live
I'm
for.
sorry, dude. I would have loved
Well,
to have been, but I don't know.
I can definitely say Wave Riders versus Titus on Friday. If you have not already put it on your schedule, I would definitely do that now. 9 p.m. EST is going to be that match. Wave Riders, of course, is the previous Nihility roster that did get picked up by Nord, and they've been doing pretty well. I think they took an L last week, unfortunately. I think that was against, oh gosh, what was that against? Revan Academy. Yeah, and Revan Academy had a pretty lackluster beginning of the season, but they've come in and have really take found their stride. So, like I said, a lot of killers going in, and this is kind of one of the, I would say, kind of the title matches here, right? With Gunners
Yeah,
versus Strike X.
yeah, it's a pretty good word to say that. And I don't know. I mean, do you have any predictions for today? I know you were talking about predictions literally a moment ago.
Oh yeah,
What do you
that's
think
a
for it?
that's a tough one. I would say if we're looking at the maps available, right, and I think I have them in front of me here.
I do as well.
Um,
If you don't.
right, it's you might have to run me through them really quick because I don't think I got sent them.
Yep. It's cafe, club, and then Oregon is the decider, I believe. So
Okay.
literally some of the most commonly picked maps in the
Right.
entire game. So
I would assume Cafe is the Gunners. Is Gunners attacking on that map?
uh,
I might have to be not sure if we
I
have that
believe
information or
so. Yeah,
available
they are.
for us
They
right
are.
now. They are attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're actually killers on attacking on Cafe.
Yeah.
They've been they've been really trying to work their bands around specifically playing on Cafe as much as possible against these teams, and it's been working to their advantage so far. Like I said last week when they took on Dark Space Esports, they took a 7-2 win, and during the qualifying season to get into, or I guess the qualifying, I guess it was basically an entire season. It did take a while to get through the qualifiers, but they also took multiple teams to Cafe and won pretty commandingly. So I would say overall, based on that map lineup and their history in Oregon, and StrikeX not having like the most, I would say, like They haven't been in this league a long time, right? They have the most experience with this
Right.
specific league, but I have heard that they are good outside of it. But considering their match versus the Rise Esports, it almost went to double overtime. It did go to uh, it did go to double overtime. Yeah, it went 8-6 versus a Rise last week. I think I would still give it to Gunners 2-1 overall. But I
I'd
know that
like to
there's a
agree on that. Yeah. I'm sorry
yeah.
for cutting you can finish off
No,
if
no,
you have
you're
anything
good. Yeah,
else.
I think the Godville fans in chat are going to be in agreement with me though.
Yeah, I mean, we stand Godville here
We
for a
do.
reason. He's had some pretty decent stats overall, 25 and 19 on I believe it was a couple weeks ago on the first two maps, and then 17, and I believe that is a 4, if not a 9 that I've written down. So overall, really good kills. And another thing that you mentioned, how Gunners in Paris like to go on maps like Cafe, for example. They also kind of ban specific operators that you normally wouldn't see, like very unorthodox ops, like that sledge I think they banned on Cafe. It might have been on a different one, but getting rid of a lot of soft destruction because vertical play occurs a lot on Cafe, it makes a lot of sense. And that's one thing I kind of like about Gunners in Paris. They've also banned the smoke every now and again on maps like Oregon, for example. And I think just seeing some variety really spices things up in general. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think Godville H17FX have gone on to say that their banning style is really based around throwing their opponents off as much as possible, trying to they study VODs, right? They look up their game plans, like these are the operators that they utilize more as a crutch than anything else and try to take those out. I think specifically those smoke bans coming through definitely shakes the boots of a few teams.
And I think we're almost ready to start up.
Yeah.
Not too sure. And I think you're on pretty much the same time frame as me.
Yeah,
So I think
I
we should
think
be
we're on
good.
the
Yeah, great. Fantastic. Okay. But yeah, I'm just excited to get the game started up. I've just been, digging all the casting gigs I'm getting here and there. So yeah, finally
Yeah,
glad to be here. Nice to
you're mostly in chat usually, so it's good to have you
yeah.
on the desk here today.
Hopefully I'm
The
not too annoying in
metaphorical
there.
desk. Did you see the winners from last week? I mean, they're the players of the week. I think
Uh,
Tofu actually posted those.
I don't think I did. I might have tuned in for like a little while, but sometimes I have a tendency to just kind of just brush away, kind of out the door. It happens. Can't always be around for every moment of the stream, so I don't think I was there for the very end, so I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, that's actually I'm not sure specifically if you watched the match. You said you might have not, but Gunners in Paris's Jix did take it for the first division as well as Titus Esports Birdwatcher in 1969. But it looks like we're going to be getting into match right now,
Yep.
transitioning in, and then this is going to be on Cafe. Favorite map, like I said before, Hand of Gunners in Paris. Let's see if they can consistently get their dominance on this map going forward. Operator bans, though. What's on your mind, fellow?
I think Amira could be a very big possibility. I don't know what I believe it is Gunners. I don't know what they want to do for the first ban though. It could possibly be a sledge or oh, it was. Hey, perfect. I was just mentioning this in the little caster box not too long ago. So we might not have Strike X go for that Thatcher ban because that could allow them to get those main walls opened in bar and kitchen, for example, done a lot easier. But that will not be the case. Thatcher will be off the board. Both of the attacking SAS operators are not going to be in play on this first map. But I like the sledge band. It kind of forces Buck to be brought for a lot of heavy vertical play. If not, they just have to run the Zofia and Ash combination, which could be a definite, but it definitely denies a lot of playability by the attackers right off the bat.
Yeah, and you were talking about that mirror band and the smoke band coming out, and they are both
Wow.
gone off the table. Like I said before, Gunners and Paris very unconventional with their banning, but they really want the opponents to play their game.
Yeah, Strike X is gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, most likely, in this best of three, just off the fact that Sledge and Smoked are banned, and those aren't very common operators. I think the only thing that's nice about that ban is they can bring a couple of different operators that you don't tend to see. Nomad can be one of them. She can get banned in some instances on Cafe. Also, Malusi getting brought on the board as well here by Godville. You don't get to see this every day, especially with all the utility dump that's going into the defensive lineup here by Gunners in Paris. They have the double combination of both Wamai and Jaeger, along with Goyo and Malusi. That is so much utility. that Strike X is going to have to go through. That's going to be such a huge time waster.
Certainly will. We're gonna be a six picking onto the Capital. It's available. Might as well use it, says Strike X. It's gonna be pretty important for taking the cocktail side. And so far, we're kind of seeing a relatively standard setup from Gunnerz and Paris. Going to be holding Pixel very strongly, and probably not much just said about their roam overall. I'm liking Godville and Malusi. His Malusi's been pretty strong for the season so far, mainly coming in flanks. Forward, he's been kind of utilizing her to that effect. Um, it's interesting though when it comes to how Malusis are typically played. There's a very distinct play style from one player to another.
Yeah, some would like to use Malusi just purely for the fact to burn the utility, but others also like to kind of merge that along with gathering a lot of intel. It's a very audible sound, that Banshee device, so being able to use it in both instances can be a great thing here for Gunnerz in Paris, and I think that's exactly what they're doing, almost using them as proximity alarms, as we do have one near White Stairwell, along with some barbed wire, so a lot of intel gathering just based off of this utility setup here. And at the moment, it does appear to be that there will be a slight roam, but at the moment, it does appear to be a top-bottom take by Strike X as well, having 4 people on the main roof. That's what you normally tend to see when attacking Cafe. You just go all the way up, work your way down pretty much on any site, and maybe on that second and first floor objective room, you'll see a lot more vertical play, but not so much on the third floor.
Something we've got to be very mindful of. Both Godville and Vexy were playing off-site last scene. Godville trying to get a cheeky kill downstairs in the outside of a garage. Wasn't able to land anything currently. And Vexy's sitting down by pillars watching Nubel. I think it's going to be a pretty powerful position if Strike X doesn't drone him out. But I don't know, the Strike X boys seem pretty on top of it so far. Already inside the building, taking control of Cigar.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
less
and
time
that's
that they
gonna be
wait
the
for the better,
first
and that's a
frag.
beautiful lineup. He'll find the shot onto Godville. Already starting things off strong here for Strike X, and now that 5-on-4 lead is in fact in their favor. They do have a minute 30 to work with as well. This is so far looking phenomenal here for the attackers. Magnet will go out here by 817 as he is still in fact holding down Pixel. Those stun grenades coming out in order to try to flush him outwards. I'm not too sure if that will be the actual factor of that though, but Impulse finding a second kill here, and Noodle gonna follow suit with that fragmentation grenade onto H17. That's now Cigar control as well. It's just up to Vixie and KY here, and one of them isn't even on site. This is looking to be a great opening round here for Strike X.
Yeah, that was a very commanding opening up, as you were talking about, but 5v2, Vexy and KY are no strangers to this positioning. With a minute left on the clock, it's going to be a little bit of a hard hold overall. Strike X is playing it nice and slow, clearing out their corners. Yeah, there's not too many places for them to sit currently. They're currently getting pushed out, and I think Noodle's going for the plant. Yes, he is indeed going for the plant. Vexy's going to try to get a pick over in the hallway here, not able to find anything. Put a little bit of damage onto Awaken, but took some himself. Now the plant is down. We got a post-plant situation, and Strike X is going to just grab one and then another. Flawless round right off the bat, and I don't know, our prediction's not looking too good already.
Oh god, this is exactly why I'm not a betting man. Impulse just cleaning the floor here against Gunnerz in Paris, finding that 3K from beginning to end. He was fragging out, and there you go. Great start so far for Strike X. So now we're going to see a service and cooking site hold here by Gunnerz in Paris. That they don't really want to repeat that same loss that they had a moment ago. But the lineup here by the attack does seem pretty much the same here. I don't really see any variations here, do you? I do see some on the defensive side, though. We do have that castle
Yeah.
brought to you by H17.
Right, and I do like the castle being played on the kitchen defenses.
I agree.
It does kind of change the dynamic with how they're going to be pushing. However, yeah, Strike X, not, it's not broken, don't change it, right?
Right.
Going to be still bringing the Capital and the Nomads to be pretty effective so far, and can't argue with results. Flawless round to open it up. It's got to be a little bit demoralizing to Gunnerz, so hopefully they can kind of pick it up mentally here.
Yeah, and this is technically Gunnerz in Paris' map, so that's a really big slap in the face towards Gunnerz X by Strike, or Gunnerz in Paris by Strike X. Got a little caught up on my words there, but we are seeing a VIP and also a coat check extension, getting that garage wall reinforced, forcing the attackers to come in right through that singular doorway. That could allow some really great sightlines, especially by Vexy or the player behind VIP. Either way, it'll work out most likely. And this is a huge time waster here as long as Gunnerz and Paris can, perform this properly. That's a little bit of a problem though. Godville now having to reinforce that double wall into prep very late into the round. That pre-fire coming out as well. And oh, a beautiful shot by Awakened, punishing that late reinforcement already. This is looking fantastic for Strike X yet again.
First frag coming out from Gunnerz in Paris. There's some life in them yet. H17 going to be taking down Impulse as he ran into the building without much support. Yeah, I think the setup here from Gunnerz in Paris is a little bit awkward, but I guess it is going to provide at least a few sight lines. H17 playing coat check in this very long angle, watching the entryway into Bakery.
Yeah, the only problem though is that now that that one wall in prep is not reinforced, that's going to allow a lot of sightlines here for Strike X. H17 taking a lot of damage here by CF. And there we go, the second kill coming out now by Korn this time. Now a 4-on-3 back in the favor of Strike X. We're going to see a little bit of a comeback here by KY trying to make his way back towards site. He could possibly shut down Korn, for example, as he is very close. Vexy not too far behind him as well. About a minute 40 on the clock now. Some of the defenders now bringing their way back into sight, but Korn yet again striking back now with his double kill into the round. And this is a firm grip here by Strike X against Gunnerz in Paris. They now have the two-man advantage with a minute 20 on the clock. I think we're going to see a plant occur very soon.
Yeah, I think the setup for Gunnerz in Paris is what really killed them at the end of the day. They've provided long sight lines for themselves, sure, but A site has just turned into a kill box for Strike X, preventing any sort of repositioning from these teammates. And as the smokes go down, Noodle is going to getting planted yet again. Zori's not really in a position to deny him, unfortunately, and with the soft walls next to him, he's just going to be shot straight through it. He's not too careful here, and he's just going to be taken out as he tries to swing. Awaken grabs a double kill for himself for the round, and KY, there's not too much for him to do. And he's just going to be taken out by Korn. Second round goes to Strike X. It's looking pretty commanding to me.
Yep, the second triple kill we've now seen. However, it's been done by Korn this time on the Capitao. Great angles done by him. And yeah, just having Strike X punishing Gunnerz in Paris for not fully setting up their strategy in the preparation phase. Again, this is just looking fantastic for Strike X. And one saying I like to normally quote myself on is the more attacking rounds you can get in the first half on a defender-sided map, the better off you'll be. You normally see that 4-2 split favoring the defenders, which in this case is Gunnerz in Paris. So we could already have that just be the end-all be-all, and if that's the case, Strike X really wouldn't be too upset about that outcome. But with the way that they're playing, we might in fact see a 3-3 or maybe even more favoring Strike X in this instance.
A little bit of mind games being played in the 6-pick phase. Godville switched off from the Wamai, or from the Malusi onto the Wamai, trying to counter the Capital, but Korn read him like a book, switching over to the Buck, and this is probably going to be a vertical take this go around. Strike X's first attack, pretty linear when it came to the first floor, not playing vertical as much as they could be. Not that it did them, any hindrance, of course, as they're still able to commandingly take the round. But I think they're going to be adjusting their attack a little bit with this Buck inclusion.
Yeah, I think though that Strike X was allowed to not worry about vertical play simply because they got that opening frag and they could just immediately apply pressure into that A site with prep not being fully reinforced and that rotational hole made yet again in Bakery side. But I don't think that they are going to retest their luck on that yet again. So they're going to just go for the much smarter play, doing that top-down roam clear, then following it up with some vertical play. It's a much easier plan overall, but the only problem is it's a huge time waster. That's always going to be the biggest problem here for attackers. It's just a time waster, especially on a very big map like Cafe Dostoyevsky. It's got 3 floors, and any of those little rooms in either 3 of those floors, there could be a roamer just hiding there, like Vexy, for example.
Yeah, we do see him kind of playing upstairs in bathroom. He did get droned out here. Not by 1, but 2 drones. Going to force him to push back down White with his tail between his legs. A few shots coming from Impulse. Not quite finding their mark. But now they know that top floor is cleared. It's going to kind of allow them to slowly start pushing down more and more.
Yep.
I'm not sure where Vexy I don't know if he's rotated completely down. Yes, and yes, he did. He actually dropped down. And is currently sitting at the bottom of White.
Yeah, very quick roam clear done by Strike X. They've got about a minute 45 to work with here. And once Corn just makes his way where Noodle's currently positioned at, they can just start doing as much vertical play as they ever so please to. And already Awakening starting off with that breaching round, going right into the floor. A second one following up as well. Yeah, if they can find any kills or just break some utility in the middle of sight, this will be a very good start for Strike X. They haven't lost anybody just yet, so it is still that 5-on-5, but it doesn't really matter as they now have vertical control. 817 taking a lot of damage from that Vulcan shield being detonated. I don't know if that was from someone blowing it up with an explosive or if it was that breaching charge from up above. I'm not quite sure, but 817 is going to pay the price nonetheless, and as more and more vertical play pursues, Strike X, like I've said, just strengthening their grip onto these defenders, playing close and in sight.
Yeah, they're ready to pounce if they once they fall down. The hatch there going into kitchen, but they're deciding to push themselves down white either way, opening up that Vulcan shield, and now KY is having to watch a few different angles. Awaken's going to be pushing into kitchen here, but it's actually going to be Noodles that gets the first kill. Vixie's going to be falling down, followed quickly by H17, and they do know where this player is, and KY is going to be taken additionally. It's just one after another. This is a slaughter fest for Gunnerz in Paris.
Awakening just popping off right now. Very little time left here for Gunnerz in Paris, and a 2v5, make it a 1v5 yet again. Awakening picks up the second frag of the round. Godville will finally claim one, but he's got to get 4 more kills if he wants to end off this round for his team, and that will not be the case. Awakening finding a third of the round, and now Strike X now has that 3-0 lead on the attack of Cafe. Very impressive work done by them indeed.
Nah, you said it yourself. Very impressive work. I'm trying to think of the adjustments that we really need to see here from Gunnerz in Paris. One, it's probably getting frags, right? They're not very known
Perhaps.
for missing their shots, but it seems that they're losing gunfights time and time again. But it's a really easy critique to just say hit your shots and get good, right? I
Yeah,
think a lot more adjustment needs to be seen from their peel back strategies. Their first defense didn't work, right? They tried the same sort of strategy
right.
again, and it was just picked apart by Strike X. They're like, yeah, we could take it. We could take this apart one way, and we could also take this apart another. And we talked about kind of like the mental game, right? Now it is a little bit
Right.
demoralizing. And when what is this? 3 of their teammates? Yeah, when 3 of your teammates are sitting with a donate, and only 2 of them, the top fraggers, might I add, have a single kill to their names. There's something about the mental that they're going through right now.
Yeah, 3 donuts and 2 french fries here by both Godville and 817. Not the best position that you want to be in, but it isn't just about the kills. Gunnerz and Paris should well know that if it's about a minute 20 on the clock and it's a 5v5, you're going to get into some really crazy gunfights. You got to be prepared for those. And you do have to technically hit your shots, but it's definitely a lot more of a mental game, like you mentioned, Booker, rather than just pure mechanical skill. Setting yourself up for those scenarios is crucial to winning those rounds. And Strike X has definitely done their homework. Maybe they've done a lot of very aggressive scrimmages before this matchup, because right now they just seem on fire on these very low time situations. But we are going to see Fireplace and Reading Room be attempted now by Gunnerz in Paris. A top floor roam will be in our hands with a lot of reinforcements going into the setup. It's going to be both, I think it's just Vixie, but no, KY is actually up here as well, my mistake. I couldn't quite tell it was him, but now I finally am. And Godville also joining the party here as well, so
Yeah.
it will in fact be a 3-man roam.
So I was actually talking about the peel back strategy, right? This is
Right.
one of those holds that gets used a bit where you're kind of heavily holding on the 3rd floor since it's very easy to take. So you want to be able to put some resistance there, and you have some fallback positions through the hatches, specifically in Cocktail. The interesting thing that they're missing out though is kind of like either a castle up here. I'm assuming they do have some maestro
Yeah.
cams usually committed upstairs, but not having a castle makes this hold significantly easier to push. Right? You're not forcing the attackers to commit that much in order to move these players out of positioning. Yes, you need to remove a couple Vulcan shields, but at the end of the day, these players are going to be very quickly realizing they don't have an escape plan. That's going to be 1 Vulcan shield down, and there's already someone sitting on the rappel of Cocktail, locking the player sitting in there and positioning who's completely drowned out. Yeah, it's Vexy. There's not too many places for him to go, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the problem with this hold when you
Oh.
you don't have a castle
Oh
available.
no.
Corn's
Yeah,
going to be fighting that
no.
kill.
Yep. Oh, but hey, an immediate refrag will come up here by Godville. A little bit better, but immediately Noodle is in fact going to clap back. Now that 4-on-3 back in the favor of StrikeX yet again. It's just up to KY here on this top floor. And you're completely correct here, but oh, right before I finish that statement, a beautiful shot will be landed there by KY. He'll get spotted out yet again by that drone. C4 will go out, but I don't think it's going to land. Nope, but on the bright side, it will in fact detonate that Vulcan shield, which will allow him to find a second kill onto the round, shutting down Impulse. A C4 will go out though right after that refrag there onto C-Full. And there we go, an even man scenario here with about 45 seconds on the clock. H17 though will get shut down by CF almost immediately, and now it's just up to Zori in a 1v2. He's got plenty of time to work with here though, about 30 seconds on the clock. Vertical play will continue on out here by Awakening, but he does not have a lot of time to work with. Have Zori just holding down on that tight angle. He'll spot the vertical play coming out by Awaken, but he's not going to be able to really do much about it. Okay, but as more and more time dwindles down here, this looks more and more winnable here for Gunnerz in Paris. And if it's any gun to win a 1v2 at minimal time, it's got to be that Alda. There we go. You see it. That's Carrier down. Zori now in that 1v1. He doesn't have to worry about much except for the possible push coming out from White Stairwell. And he is well aware of it. Awaken goes for the wide swing. He gets the pre-fire, though. And he will, in fact, win the 1v1 against Zori. And there we have it. The 4th round win in a row for StrikeX, not letting off of that gas pedal there. They're just pushing on that accelerator. They want to go 6-0, and I think we could possibly see that happen.
KY tried. I gotta give it to him.
He
He
did.
tried to claw that round back into his favor. And they had an impactful refrag there, finally, right? Godville able to get the refrag off of Exy, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Zori decided to kind of day and rat a bit, and unfortunately not. He just got swung on. That's that's got to be rough. But we see at least a little bit of life in Gunners in Paris. It's not completely hopeless.
Yeah, that was a very close round indeed. And hey, like most people say, either swing or be swung. I guess Gunners in Paris has to kind of carry on that ranked mentality, I suppose, because them playing far too competitively right now might be a little bit of a problem. That sounds really really Papega of me to say, but I don't know. I mean, it could possibly work out. We just see StrikeX just fragging out against Gunners in Paris, and I really just don't know this instant. It just seems like StrikeX is just almost unstoppable here. They
Yeah,
are, they're just the Goliath and David story here, except they're, David, I suppose. They're just winning when we thought they weren't going to.
they're both David and Goliath in the story. I see.
Yeah, both the pros and just the pros. Yeah, no cons, no cons here by StrikeX.
Right. Yeah, it's Strike X. Their strengths here have really come from their droning and their positioning, right? Two of the hardest things to master as a team. Easy to learn, hard to master. They've been able to prevent rotations from Gunner and Paris and prevent off these like escape routes. They've also been able to get every little bit of information out of every single drone that they've have, and Gunners and Paris has not really done a good job to eliminate the drones. Only grabbing one so far, and that's typically the suicide drone that I'm sure Awaken was pretty okay with losing at that point, just guaranteeing where the bomb site was.
Yeah, I mean, he is the Ash after all. I mean, do Ash mains really drone? I mean, riddle me that one. I
I
honestly
don't
don't
think
think they
so.
do.
No,
Yeah,
I for one,
I
I'm an
doubt it.
Ash main and I've never droned, so
Yeah, I mean, droning's just simply overrated, but already some soft destruction will occur onto that Vulcan drone, just burning through as much utility as quickly as possible. So that's control of Cigar Lounge almost immediately here by Awakened. Another breaching round now coming out as well, possibly to spot maybe a Banshee perhaps by Godville. I'm not entirely sure, but hey, a utility dump is just a utility dump nonetheless, and yep, that's exactly what it was for, but it did not seem to land. So more people now trying to add on to this top floor take, and Noodle with a beautiful shot onto Vexy. And oh, Korn was very close to picking up that kill near White Stairwell as well, but just narrowly missing those shots. It's too bad he doesn't have those wall hacks that we in fact have, but Noodle going to get into a little bit of a gun engagement right up against Godville. The C4 could possibly come out. There it goes. Will it land though? It in fact will not. So we'll still have that 5-on-4 in the favor of StrikeX.
yeah, Godville tried to run out, was taken down by Korn. That's going to be another kill by Impulse onto KY. So we're in the same
What?
exact position we saw him beforehand, but now it's a 2v5 if they're able to bring back up Noodle, and they are indeed. This is looking a little scary, and this time they have a little bit, and they have an opening right above his head, knowing that he's potentially playing in the same position. And yeah, he was. They did get his position
Oh!
call out, but Zora got the kill on the impulse.
Wow, what a shot there by Zori, picking up one onto Impulse, but the man advantage is still massively in the favor of Strike X. We do have 817 going on a little bit of a flank here on the top floor. Very late to start that flank, but it could possibly work out. But he's gonna think with his head here and not attempt that. Zori now picking up the second kill of the round. Korn looking away at just the wrong moment as well. That could have gotten him a free kill onto Maestro, but doesn't seem to matter, as we do in fact have Awakening finally picking off that 80 bullet machine there. Maestro with that all done. Now it's just a 1v2. 817 picks up one. The plant coming down by CF.
He has no
I
clue what's
don't know
going
if he's
down.
well aware of that. Yeah, he's going to go for a possible push up above. He hears the shots coming out by Awakening and will in fact see them, but that air jab going to slow him down for just a quick moment. But he does have time to recover. Awakening holding down that cocktail lounge angle. He will in fact rotate around though at just the perfect moment. He'll pounce upon his prey of 817, and that's going to be the 5th round win in a row for Strike X. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a little rough to watch.
Yeah,
I
wow.
I would say the biggest thing, right, is the refusal to make adjustments on their strategies. That's kind of the biggest thing that I'm seeing from Gunners right now, because your top floor peel back hold worked relatively well the first time, but now your opponents are going to be ready for it. Now StrikeX is going to say, yes, we know exactly where you're holding. We're going to be able to pick you off significantly easier, and it's not going to be as effective. And it simply wasn't. I liked the late flanks that are coming by H17, but with those Nomads in play, just was not effective enough. But you're going to be seeing a switch onto the Valkyrie, leaving the mute off the table, but I think it's going to be overall more effective to gather some information, because I think information has been something that Gunners and Paris have been lacking pretty heavily, even though they have had the Maestro and they play the entire time.
Yeah, information is definitely key. Sometimes it is better just to bring more intel rather than denying some of your opponent's intel. So I also like the Valkyrie pick. Also, a great thing about Valkyrie on this top floor, you can go underneath and go for some possible C4 throws, whether that be near new balcony or that could be possibly into Cigar Lounge itself. You know, the sky's the limit here when you play Valkyrie on a map like Cafe, and it isn't just for the top floor. You could even do it on kitchen, for example. It's not as likely to be seen, but it is a definite possibility. So I also agree with you there, Booker. I do like 817 bringing that Valkyrie on the board.
And we're seeing, yet again, no real adjustments being made onto the attacking side with Strike X, and I can't really blame him. Awaken
Me
coming
neither.
out swinging 9-0 so far for this series. Very contrasting with Vexy's 0-5.
Yeah, I mean, Gunners in Paris, I mean, hey, it might just be a warm-up map. Maybe they'll bring it back on map number 2 and possibly 3 on that decider if they do win on the second one. But I already feel like this first map is just a loss for them. I hate to be that Debbie Downer, but 5-0 on attack, that is some unheard of numbers right there. That is so impressive by
And
Strike
on
X. You gotta give it
Cafe.
to him. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on Cafe. That's like, it's pretty much the same thing as Clubhouse, for example, or even Oregon or Villa. It's just unheard of in some instances, but I think we're going to see a cigar take very soon. The only thing to really stop them, though, is KY behind that Vulcan shield. The soft ping will come out to gather some intel. I don't know if they were able to break the Vulcan, though. I think it was just a concussive, but it doesn't matter. Korn will pick up the kill regardless, and there finally goes the Vulcan shield. So already burning through some utility and burning through some of the players here on Gunners in Paris.
That's not looking good for Gunners in Paris. Every single time Strike X has been able to get in the opening frag, and every single time Gunners in Paris has not really had an answer. And it's not going to be any sort of change here, as KY was taken for free. They're pushing their way onto site a little bit more aggressively. I'm not sure if Awaken's able to open this up with his breaching charge. He's going to be using his round instead. Yeah,
Yeah.
they pretty much have a clear angle onto site. Still gonna have to deal with this Alda, as we talked about beforehand. So we've been using it to relatively alright effect there. H17 gets a frag, however. Noodle's gonna be taken down. That's the Maverick off the table.
Oof,
Assume a
wow.
couple frags too, and there's a second.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, we'll be immediately refragged there by Awakening, now evening up the player line 3-3, even man scenario. Zori going to take a lot of damage here, though. He's about on a sliver of health of roughly 15, and a beautiful shot by Zori. It doesn't matter how much HP the Maestro is on, that Alda is still a menace and a force to be reckoned with. But now in that 3-on-2, Gunnerz and Paris finally having a little bit of weight taken off their chest, as they do in fact have that man advantage. And only 30 seconds left to stall. This could in fact be the first round win that we see in the blue team's favor. CF going to go for a little bit of a sight line here. Impulse finding even more damage, but onto Vexy this time. He'll go for the wide swing onto Maestro. Luckily, he's on low enough HP to be taken down in one bullet. Now evening up the man line 2-2 as Godfield goes for a possible flank, but he will get stalled there by that air jab. Speaking of Nomad, she'll find a beautiful headshot onto Vixie, and now in that 1v2, the plant can in fact occur. Godville now a little bit on the ropes here. A second air jab denying him from pushing right in. That's going to allow for the plant to go down. He'll swing around at the wrong moment, but Gunnerz at the very last second will deny the defuse. And that is finally going to be the first round win in the favor of the defensive team, as the sides now finally switch in a 5-1 split.
They did it! They got
They
one!
did it! Woo! Let's go!
Let's go, Gunners in
Uh,
Paris. Godville making a very good decision to hold its bullets there, pick his fights, take down the planter, and secure the round. It's not yet over, however. Celebrations are going to have to be postponed. One round being won in defense on Cafe leaves them pretty steep hill decline still for Gunners in Paris. They're going to have to fight against the now defenders from Strike X. We're going to be seeing a kitchen service and cooking hold so far, with Frost being brought as a six pick. I've been seeing a lot more Frost lately, fellow.
I I have two, surprisingly. I commentated a game a couple of days ago, and I also saw Frost. It was on Oregon, though, not Cafe. But you're still seeing Frost nonetheless. I find that very surprising, but it kind of makes sense. In that 20-second meta, as people still call it, I would consider it more of a 30 to 40-second meta now, as some operators have been changed. You sometimes don't just look straight down in those very last moment gun engagements. So that frostback can catch you off guard in some instances. So to be honest, I kind of like the setup being brought here by Strike X.
Yeah, it's a little unconventional, but with that shotgun being involved as well, she's kind of turned more into a utility operator. They kind of see some of these Frostman's positions going to be in spots to try to catch the attackers. Oh, and I kind of like this setup here by Noodle to put some feet holes on the left-hand side of the wall.
Yeah, I
But
do
overall,
too.
it's going to be a Christmas hold. I'm not quite sure who's going to be playing that shield in Christmas. I think they set one down there. They did reinforce off the garage wall, kind of provide some protection at the very least. But Gunners of Paris not opting for the first floor take, going to be going upstairs. Top down, as
Yeah.
they say.
Yep, top down, that's normally how you attack on Cafe. That's pretty much how it's always been, even before the rework. Just flush out those roamers as early as possible, then start following that up with some vertical play. It's just a recipe for success here by Gunners in Paris. I think the only problem, though, would just be failing on that roam clear, obviously, but I don't actually know if there's anyone on the third floor, so this might, in fact, be a very, very fast roam clear done by Gunners in Paris if they have no one to worry about.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think all of Strike X is
Wow.
playing on the first floor, but Awaken just had to prove me wrong. Going up quite a little bit to just get on the landing, take down Godville for free, and back up. And that is every single round now has gone opening frag over to Strike X. That's some gross play.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as to why Awakening is just playing so well. He must have really just snorted about a whole tub of G Fuel here. 11-1 right now. The absolute madman shutting down Godville so early into the round, and now that's going to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of Gunners in Paris, as they are down that man advantage so early on. And Awakened is still on a very small roam at the moment. Say KY might be the first runner up to try and contest that Jaeger player in the middle of bar, but they'll just be holding down the angle first and foremost, allowing players on that second floor to go for a little bit of vertical play, like Vexy, for example. And there we have it. Awakening going for a small little retreat. Say he's not going to try to wide swing around that kitchen window, or pardon, small bakery window. But I hope he's going to actually recontest it for just a quick second. But I think he'll just hold down that passive angle, waiting for 817 to come to him, especially since he is on such a very little HP.
I don't think age 17 has any clue that he's sitting in there for the most part. At
Nope.
least he wasn't playing like he knew. That could have been a little bit devastating for him so far, but he is going to be finding Awakened coming from a little bit of a different angle. Awakened's not too sure if there's still someone playing his window or not. We're seeing some aggressive plays from
Oh,
H17 as he takes him out, but gets quickly refragged by Noodle with the shoddy for Frost. Don't normally see
yeah.
that come up on the kill feed.
Nope, you do not. But the final few moments here of round number 7, this does not look good for Gunnerz in Paris. Zori will even up the man feed now 3-3, but they don't have much time to get in for this plant. Zori will be able to attempt it, but I don't think anyone's covering him at the moment. Only the vertical play will try to contest it, but the vertical play was just not giving off the proper angle that will allow Strike X to shut down the plant at just the right moment. And that's going to be the 6th round win here for Strike X, now bringing us to match point. Only on the 8th round. What a fast map so far for Cafe.
Yeah, we might not have to be here all that long,
Nope.
truthfully. But at least for this first map, I still have some hope in our Gunners boys. Could be seeing a switch up, 3rd floor cocktail hold, rocking the castle this go around. Yeah, we're seeing Maestro being included as well for every single setup, and I've talked about this before, where Maestro seems to be in the meta in its current stage, one of the most powerful operators available to the defenders. His kit
Yeah.
is crazy. He can really just hold down a site all by himself, whether it's impact tricking, plant denial, or just gunning down anybody running in. He's got the bullets to do it.
Yeah, I don't think the ACOG was the problem with that gun. I think it's the fact that the fire rate is just jacked. There's very minimal recoil even with the ACOG. And speaking of recoil, he's got 80 bullets. It's a literal laser beam. He's just a juggernaut. You think of Call of Duty, how the juggernaut comes in with that minigun. That's literally Maestro. There's no better way to put it. He's just a walking meatball. He's just indestructible. I really don't know what else to say, but we are going to see that top floor be defended here by Strike X. This could be the final round on Cafe that we possibly see. Pretty standard setup though so far. I don't think they're going to be holding Pixel as there are 0 deployable shields being brought on the board, and almost every single wall has been reinforced leading into bar. Yep, I think the quad wall has been fully dampered up here. And oh, is Awakening going to go for a very aggressive peek here? He's going to be
Of
able to
course he
spot
is.
one, but yeah, of course he is. He'll spot one, but not be able to find any kills onto anybody. But on the bright side, at least the favor did not get returned to him. So it is still 5-on-5.
He's got to be feeling himself, right? 11 and 2.
Oh
Might as well
yeah.
go for a spawn peek. This is going to be finishing off the round potentially.
Yeah, it is 6-1 match
I'm
point as
more
well.
I'm more interested to see where he is playing right now. He did fall down all the way to mining. I was imagining he was going to be playing a bit more aggressively and up at Christmas, but not quite going to be doing it. Corn's still messing around with the site, providing a few more lines of sight available to defense here. As I think Awakened, he's a transition to looks like white. Anyway, Getters of Paris trying to drone themselves in, provide some nomad flank watch. They do know Awaken's fallen off at the very least, and previously he had played down red. So they're going to be kind of worried about him coming in, but he's not the only one they should be worrying about. Impulse reading right now, but potentially right behind him if they're not too careful.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, that Nitro cell from underneath with that intel from either the Evil Eye or the Black Eye cameras, that could be devastating here for Gunners in Paris. That could really change the entire round out. Speaking of those Black Eye cameras, though, one will be spotted out on the Christmas tree by Vexy, but still in that 5-on-5. Godville, though, going to go for a little bit of a roam clear, I believe, as he is now on that 2nd floor. He might be able to spot out Impulse. He is very close to Valkyrie. Just feet away, or meters, whatever one you'd want to call it here. And I think Impulse is well aware. He's going to back up, now reposition here. I think he hears the footsteps from both sides, though. He's in a perfect spot to find one onto Godville, possibly. KY, though, could possibly use his hologram to spot him out. He's not going to do that. He'll just try to front forwardly contest him. And the cross peek by both Godville and also Yana will finally shut down Impulse. So now in that 5v4, favoring Gunners in Paris for once, which is also quite surprising, but they don't have a lot of time to work with here.
Thank God Godville was there, because that was a little bit of potato onto Impulse. Was able to take down the Valkyrie, thankfully for them, but with 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes just spent on dealing with the Valkyrie. I'm not sure if that's going to quite be enough. Awaken clapping back is going to be taking down Vexy up in Christmas, and Noodle's looking to grab himself a frag as well, but he turns just as they start swinging.
Yep, so now in that 4-on-4, this is the very final moments of the possible last round here. This is favoring Strike X at the moment as they don't have a lot of time left that they have to stall for. And it's going to be just a complete blitz into the middle of sight here, now dwindling down to 10 seconds. That Mossberg shoddy though in close quarters, Awakening finding his second kill. Now a 2-on-4 as Korn was able to pick up one. Awakening with his third, now can he secure the fourth? He will not. Noodle will shut down the final player of Zori. And that's going to be map number 1, a win for Strike X. 7-1, narrowly missing that flawless 7-0 that you ever so love to see.
Well, not if you're Gunnerz in Paris, fellow. I don't think you'd love to see that at
Yeah,
all.
that's a good point. And you know what? We did kind of want them to win, so that's true. But a 7
I
zero
have
is
faith.
very
I've
rare.
always had faith,
I
right?
do too. I do too.
I think a lot of it has to do, and they were kind of picking that up later.
Yep.
Godvilla's left the game. That's the so that's always what
Rest
you
in
want to be
peace.
seeing. But they were picking it up a little bit later when it came to working on refragging, working on positioning. It really comes down to their setups. I think their defense is just overall weaker on this on Cafe, which is strange because they've been doing a very good job on it up until this point. Um, so I would say that they need to take it back to the drawing board, need to redraft up a couple more defensive sites and kind of I don't know, just sort of practice Cafe more.
Yeah. I mean, their strategies aren't that bad, but their executes of those strategies, it's a little lackluster. It's very worrisome, especially since Cafe is one of their stronger maps in theory. You know, they wanted to go there. They picked defense first. They banned all these operators specifically to try and counter like the vertical play, for example, with Sledge being banned. It just like I said earlier, a big slap in the face towards Gunners in Paris here by Strike X, and them already having a one map lead now going into I believe it is Clubhouse. That's not a good start, especially since I think Clubhouse might favor Strike X just a tad bit more. But I am still hopeful for Gunners in Paris, and I think you are as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we got to keep it hopeful, but we're going to be going to a quick break. We'll be back here right afterward from our sponsors.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Map number 2 coming right at you. So I think we're going to Clubhouse now. And I mean, Gunners in Paris, they really surprised us. I thought they were gonna, be a little bit stronger there on Cafe, but I guess me and Booker are both proven wrong as Strike X did in fact take map number 1 on Cafe. So have your predictions changed at all, Booker? Are you still holding in strong here?
Do I still hold in strong? I always have faith in Godville, right? In Godville we trust. No, I think the Gunners in Paris boys, they had a rough first game. Clubhouse looking to be a little bit different, at least on their end. At least they're hoping for it to be a little bit different. I have some faith in them. But we are hopping into game right now. Gunners in Paris starting on defense, back to back. It seems considered to be favorable, but if their cafe says anything, they're going to really have to pick it up if they want to keep themselves in the running.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are very defender heavy maps, but you have to play them a little bit differently. So that could give Gunners in Paris a little bit more leeway, but they are starting things off strong with a pretty common ban, I would suppose. Thatcher is definitely the more favorable op or Maverick, either or, but Habana is a great ban nonetheless. And up, there we have it. There goes the Thatcher ban right afterwards. So that's pretty much the bread and butter for operator bans for Rainbow so far. So far, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was seeing the Habana bands come out more and more because of a rework. It's just impossible to really consistently impact Trick. Not that you can't do it, it's just wastes a lot more time and more resources as a defender to do so. So taking her off the table, Gunners in Paris is going to be keeping themselves strong on the defense. Kaid and Smoke following suit. Gunners got something against Smoke, I swear.
Yeah, I don't know why they love banning smoke. And again, it's not the worst ban, but it's very unorthodox. I
It's to throw
really
off their
have
opponent, you know?
I guess so, but apparently that strategy just did not work for Strike X. Hey, maybe that's why they won a singular round on Cafe, one of their most favorable maps. But hey, I'm not throwing shade at all. I probably would do even worse.
Fellow
My team and comp would probably get 0-7, and that's why I'm a caster and not a player. So I'll put myself back in the dirt. Okay, I'm not gonna sit on any little high horse here at all. That's not
No,
me.
I think you sit on the commentaries so you can just make fun of them. I think that's what it is, fellow.
Okay, Booker. Okay. Yeah, I'm rooting for these guys. I don't want them to lose. I want them to win. I'm just stating that they didn't win the last map. But Gunners in Paris to surprise us yet again. They're gonna go gym and bedroom first. One of the least favorable sites on Clubhouse. You normally would expect the basement floor to be held first or CCTV and cash room. I don't really know what they're gonna want to do here to surprise us, but surprise us they definitely will, one way or the other.
We're seeing the castle reinforce off
Um,
bar. I'm a little bit
what?
I'm a little bit confused with the setup. Are they trying to
Is it a debate?
I think it's a debate. I think they're trying to get the drones and trying to is it pretending to do a basement hold. I'm not sure if Corn has the information. We did
Yeah,
see that he had a drone down there. And how many drones are taken off the table? It looks like 3. So they might have totally debated them. This is this is
it.
this is something you love to see from the Gunners in Paris guys. Let's see if it pays off though. They are faking an SSG, and
Oh
I
my
was
god, I
thinking that
think
they
they
were going
have.
to be going to the SSG. Oh no.
Oh, that's a big time waster right there. This is what you would call the Yo Boy Roy strat. None of the drones were able to spot out that bomb. It was well aware as that attacker phase quote did be said by the announcer, but already working out pretty well for Strike X. They're going to be in for a really big surprise though once they find out that this is not the bomb site. They will pick off one though onto H17. We did just witness that a moment ago. Now Vexy will reposition just a tad bit. Going to play a lot more passively, narrowly finding that shot onto the player pushing in through blue. They have site control, or at least they think they do. I'm not quite sure. Oh, they're going to go for a plant. They dropped diffuser.
they
Oh,
have
no. Oh,
they
we
have
just
no
witnessed it.
idea.
They had
Oh
no
no.
clue. The lull in chat as well. That's a minute off the timer already and only losing one player on that roam. Wow. What a play by Gunners in Paris. That was beautiful. You got to
I
give it to him. That was
I just
beautiful.
really wish H17 didn't push up there in dirt. I think they could have gotten away with
Oh,
it without a single death to their name. Um, but Zori's going to be the one here, and he actually finds a kill on the core, and that was disgusting. Taken right off and evening up the man count. Awaken's gonna have to push himself into construction. There's a little bit of a rat play. I think it's from Zori's repositioning himself, and he's gonna get to find another kill onto Impulse. Awaken's gonna be taking him out. However, he is now has full construction control, trying to push his way onto site. 119 left on the clock, and we're back into a 3v3. That's gonna be a kill from C Fulls. Godville taken out, putting himself a double onto the leaderboard.
Yep, now in a 3-on-2, again favoring Strike X, but I think Gunnerz and Paris can hold their own on this gym and bedroom defensive site, as Vixie now picks up another kill, or pardon, just one kill onto the round after coming back into sight from that deep roam. Now a 2-on-2. Awaken will attempt to find his second frag, but he will not be successful. He'll get shut down there near the main stairwell, and now it's just up to Noodle in a 1v1. The plant will go down, but I think Vexy is in the right position at just the right time. But he has no clue the plant's going down. He'll finally wide swing around, though. And there's the double down. Both of them getting finished off. And Gunnerz and Paris have more than enough time to defuse. And now we see Gunnerz and Paris, in fact, taking the first round win here on Clubhouse. A much stronger start here for the defending team.
Fellow, you simply love to see it. I have to
Oh
say.
my god, I'd love to see it. That's why I want them to win.
This is that signature Gunnerz troll play that you've seen.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be bedroom off the table, and that does leave CCTV and basement. And you've talked about previously, yeah, they're coming some of the strongest sites available to them, and that's looking good. It's looking very solid for the team. We're going to be seeing a CCTV, or at least I'm assuming it's going to be a CCTV hold.
Yep.
Out of Gunnerz, opting to use the Valkyrie, trying to provide some information. Something that we are lacking on their lineup so far, which you might see a 6-pick to, is our Alda using Maestro, which they were using to great effect previously. Well, at least attempting to use to great effect on Cafe. 6-picking off the Valkyrie onto a Melusi H17. I'm assuming opting to try to use some C4 from below. We did see some impacts on Godville previously, and yep, that is going to be the C4 available to them. That is 3 onto their roster. I'm expecting a heavy stock room, bottom of red stairs hold.
Yeah, and it's a little interesting. Goyo shield being attempted here by KY. I don't think he's able to fully line it up, as those papers on the table will slow him down in that process. A little unfortunate to see there, but
he could do it.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I believe in him.
I do too,
No?
but
Did he give up?
yeah, I guess he just gave up. Yeah,
our Duper was having none of it.
I don't blame him, man. Thank you for not embarrassing him as much there. And we're gonna go back, and it in fact was placed.
He got
so
it. He got
there
it.
we go.
Fantastic.
Great work, KY. Let's go. But removing the Valkyrie instead for a Melusi is not a bad pick. You still get that C4 to possibly go underneath to deny a post plant scenario. It's not the worst idea, and you can still use her Banshees for some type of intel gathering, because it does make that audible sound, a little wub-wub. That's why some people call it the wub-wub device. So it's still a great pick nonetheless. I really don't have a problem with it. But Strike X already trying to get open that main wall into CCTV. We're going to have Noodle trying to Maverick trick that wall, and Impulse right by his side just to immediately break open that main wall once it becomes soft. And there we go. Just became soft. Only a matter of seconds here before he gets open that left side of the main wall.
Yeah, it was super quick, well practiced.
Yeah.
Big hole in the defense. Speaking of which, Awaken is downstairs, and I always talked about them holding bottom of red. They're not doing a really good job about that. He's going to be swinging on H17, taking down that Melusi. That C4 is dying in her pocket, and now has a kind of a powerful position here on the player playing on Rafters. He's going to be taken out by Impulse, and that is Godfill dropping. We're down into a 5v3. Noodle going to be picked off by Vixie somewhere in bedroom area. That is Diffuser down. And Vixie, I'm not sure if he's aware that is the case. However, hopefully he's going to be able to play it to effect. He's currently seeing construction, and that's not going to be it. Going to be a kill from Korn, putting it down to a 4v2.
Yeah, it does appear to be that there are no more tricks up Guns in Paris' sleeves, as it's now a 4-on-2, not favoring them. It is, in fact, favoring Strike X. A minute 20 on the clock as well. More than enough time to work here for Strike X once they get that execute going in towards site. Just some angles being prepped up at the moment. Nothing much discussed now, as I believe a full rotate is in fact occurring by Strike X. That Ash charge coming out from underneath, if not then construction. Nope, it was in fact vertical play being attempted by Awakening, or Awakened, I should say, my mistake. And still plenty of time here for Strike X to work with. They're playing this last couple of moments here very slowly and methodically. They don't want to ruin this 2-4 situation. And there we go, CF going for the plant as well, and the defenders have just zero clue. It's going to go down successfully. Zori now finally getting off of that red stairwell peak, to try and contest the players in the middle of sight. C4 goes out, and it's not going to land on a single player here by StrikeX. This is looking to be a comeback round possibly here for the attacking team, as Korn is holding a lovely angle against Mute. He'll deal a lot of damage, but somehow, some way, he'll come out on top, but it's not enough to win the round for Gunnerz in Paris, as CF will immediately refrag in the middle of sight. And now the scoreline is in fact evened up 1-1 going into round number 3.
I'm a little bit confused about the communication between the last two players there from Gunners and Paris. We had someone holding red, someone holding construction. That's all well and dandy as long as you got someone holding site and there's nobody. They were just able to waltz in, get the plant. Their microphones must not have been on, their headsets not quite working. Maybe they had it turned around, but just not hearing the plant for a second time, right? Because we previously on the other round, we didn't hear a plant onto Noodle as he was planning in bedroom. Had to deal with it a little bit too late rather than getting the free kill. And I'm just not overall confident with the communication for Gunners in Paris. They're really going to need to be able to pick that up if they want to secure the round. Cheese only works so well.
Yeah, like I said a minute ago, no more tricks or aces up Gunners in Paris' sleeves. And I think we immediately saw that just be played out as StrikeX just clapped back with a round win of their own. We're now going to see that basement floor being defended by Gunners in Paris. It's not going to be a debate, though. They are, in fact, actually going here, chat. I swear. And the lineup for this basement hold actually looks pretty swell. KY bringing that castle, that could possibly allow them to extend into bar. I think KY is preparing to do that right now. Yep, there goes the castle barricades being placed down right as I'm speaking. And also Zori on that Mozzie could also allow some intel gathering leading in the kitchen, which could lead to a couple of C4 plays being done by either Godville, Zori, or H17. Possibly deny that hatch from being blown open by anyone on StrikeX.
That's kind of an interesting hold overall. You don't really see, if you're going to be running this sort of strategy, you don't really see them reinforcing off that Moto hatch, but they have indeed. Maybe they're expecting their players to rotate down main stairs. A little bit aggressive and slightly less safe, but opting instead to kind of have more of a secure main site. They're not bringing the vigils, so their information denial is, while strong, not 100% effective. Either way, we're going to see Strike X open their way into logistics and kind of put some pressure onto Zori upstairs, trying to figure out which angles the attackers are coming at.
Yeah, if Zori can waste a lot of time up above, that could lead Gunners in Paris to win their second round onto Clubhouse. But so far, StrikeX really does not seem phased by that top floor roamer, as Awaken just goes for the vertical play almost immediately. Korn will probably follow suit as well, but already some lovely angles being opened up by Awakened nevertheless. So that could also allow for the main hatch of kitchen to be opened up. Zori going to spot a drone here. He's going to decide not to shoot it to give away his position. He is going to eventually melee it, though, and he's not that close to any of the players on the first floor at the moment, but he does have enough time to go for a possible rotation. However, Impulse being on that flank watch could be a very big thorn in the side of Zori, but kills coming out on both sides, Awakening and H17 picking up a kill of their own, now making it that 4-4, and I think Zori could possibly go for a big swing here. He in fact will. He'll pick up the frag onto Impulse, and again, another kill coming out by Gunners in Paris. Now having the 4-on-2, now 4-on-1 technically in their favor, as it's just up to Noodle, unless he can go for that revive onto CF.
Yeah, Noodle's currently looking to push down dirt, not trying to play the safe, pick up his teammate there, and he's going to be taken out by Godville, securing the round for Gunners in Paris. They don't need cheese to win, fellow. Sorry. They don't need cheese to win, it seems, and they're going to be putting themselves in their second lead for the round, going into round 4, ending at 2-1. That's going to kind of put us back into an interesting situation with the run back a previous site. CCTV is going to be the opt this go around. Looking to bring the Malusi again, although I am expecting a 6-pick onto the Valk.
To be honest, I thought we were going to see Gym and Bedroom be reattempted. I thought they played a lot better on that site than they did CCTV and Cash, but
Well, they didn't
I don't
exactly
think they
play on
want
the
to.
site, you know.
That's a fair point. I was going to say they don't want to test their luck defending a site that isn't even site, but pretty good lineup yet again for Clubhouse, or pardon CCTV Cash on Clubhouse, my mistake. We have the double denial of both Jaeger and Wamai yet again. Just overall a gigantic utility dump. It
Oh,
hasn't worked out for them yet, and oh, is KY gonna go for it again?
I have the
I
faith.
think he'll get it, but I wanna see if he will.
That's
Yep, there you go.
only
Nice,
3 tries
there,
this time. Let's
nice.
go, KY.
Yep,
Is known by
yep.
Jix, by the way. That is Jix for you guys watching Hugh Soku, I think. Some weeb name that he changed it to. But Jix
Yeah.
has been a consistent top fragger in this league up until this point, and I don't know, he's having a little bit of a rough time overall, leaving sort of the playmaking to some of the other players. And I think he's kind of taking more of a support role going forward on their team.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to play a little bit back rather than just going all the way forward facing. And as long as you have someone on your team to just switch out that role for you, won't be that big of a deal. But already, massive amounts of damage being fled just onto Impulse, now being brought down to roughly 25 health. He was not finished off though, so that is still going to allow for this Maverick trick to occur to get up in that main wall. But I don't think it really would have mattered as they also have Awakened on Ash and Corn on the sledge. So if Impulsive did get taken down, I think the only thing that would have benefited Gunners and Paris there would have just been having that early man advantage.
Yeah, Godville was trying to open up the first early man advantage for Gunners in Paris this entire map. It has been 3 times in a row that StrikeX has gotten the opening frag, although once they're able to refrag. So a little bit exciting for Gunners in Paris there at the very least. Vexy going to be playing on the top of main stairs, hoping for a little bit of a later flank, but unawares to him, there's going to be some players moving very aggressively towards his position. He's going to be given away as he puts some shots down range, not able to find any marks. He's be moving back off downstairs into bar and probably coming up through stock.
Yeah, Awakening just out for blood right now. He's aware that Jaeger has now went down below. Gonna now be breaking that barbed wire, but he won't try to contest him from underneath. Ooh, a lovely angle almost attempted here by Impulse as the player on Raptors tries to wide swing him, but neither one of those two players are gonna hit their shots. Godville narrowly missing along with Impulse, so it is still that 5-on-5. A minute 20 now on the clock. If they get down to less than a minute in this 5v5, this could greatly favor Gunners in Paris, but Strike X actually has been able to prove me wrong on that statement. They've been able to just out-frag Gunners in Paris on so many occasions, and there you go. I literally just called it. Korn gonna pick up one onto KY. That's shutting down Goyo. One Vulcan shield being taken care of as well. Refrags coming out left and right, but now the man advantage is back in the favor of Strike X as Awakening will pick up his first kill onto this round. Well, his 5th in total, but the first one for this round, I should say.
We have Vexy and H17 both coming up red stairs at the same exact time. This seems to be a little bit of a hole in their defense. As Seafulse is going to be putting down the diffuser. It's looking a little bit hopeless. Now down to a 1v4. It's all the way down to H17. Can he get the frags that he needs? Doesn't look like it. Noodle going to be finishing him off, and StrikeX evening up 2-2. But Clubhouse is looking a little bit more even here. However, it is still on the defensive half for Gunners in Paris. So we still have a few tricks to see from StrikeX as we switch sides.
Yeah, just a constant back and forth between these two teams. A lot more even than what we saw last map, obviously. But still getting those 2-round wins on Clubhouse on attack is no small feat done by Strike X. And like I said on Cafe, if they can make it a 3-on-3 split or even more, we could see them come out on top yet again, because once we see them go to defense, that snowball effect leading to that avalanche will already be so massively in their favor, and I don't know if Gunners and Paris will be able to stop it, but I'm not going to try to, force any predictions down anyone's throats here. There are still 2 more rounds before the sides finally switch, so we could in fact see that 4-2 situation in the favor of Gunners and Paris, as they now try to reattempt CCTV and Cash for a 3rd time.
This is something I've seen time and time again from teams. We saw it on the Amarok match. I think they were up against, if I can correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but I think it was Weight Runners. But teams in this league just seem very stubborn about playing CCTV. They say it's the best site. We need to win CCTV. We have to keep playing it if we lose. And last 2 times didn't work out too well for him. Now it's the 3rd time, and I don't know about this
Question?
setup. I've seen this before. I've seen this setup done before, but it's done with a castle. But they just completely reinforced off rafters, and I'm not sure. They're not trying to play in Grudge at all. Seems a little questionable, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know why they decide to reinforce both the walls there, but, if Gunners and Paris
They're
is
trying
okay with
something new
it,
at
then
least.
Yeah, hey, that's what you like about Gunnerz in
That's
Paris.
all
They
we
like
can
to spice
ask.
things up, whether it be favorable for them or favorable for the opposition. It doesn't really matter as long as it's something new and unique, I suppose. But nothing new has really changed on the side of Strike X. They're gonna yet again just go for that very effective Maverick trick with Zofia by Maverick's side. So they're gonna get ready to do that pretty much immediately. This is some of the fastest Maverick tricking I've seen in quite a while. Very good work by both Noodle and Impulsive on this dynamic duo here.
Yeah, we get our star of approval as the best Maverick of the series. Nice job,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
I have seen some strange holes when we're in the T4 scene, though. I was talking about the castle. There was a castle play where they stick a rook up here on rafters. They completely reinforce it off, and then castle off the window and just have the rook sitting here, and then they'd play very heavily underneath sight with C4s. It's worked
Okay.
previously. It has worked for him,
Uh,
or has worked for people. Oh, no, but it's not going to be working for
wow.
KY, as he's just shot by Awakened. That C4 not going to be getting the refrag. Very nice shots and very aggressive plays from the Ashmain, trying to fix his kill count. Vexy coming in from Kids, able to grab one, and then a second onto Corn. He's got to find a third, not able to quite do it. Seafull's able to get the refrag up, now down to a 3v3. Puts puts Awakening in a little bit of an awkward situation, but Impulse is able to get a very solid advantage for his team right off the bat.
Again, another 3-on-3, but immediately changed back to a 2-on-2 as Zori picks up one, but Impulsive gonna immediately strike back, picking up the head of Godville. It's just up to Zori now. He's on full health, so he could possibly shut down Impulsive rather quickly, but the wide swing comes out, and Impulsive is just perfectly set up for it, almost dying on the rappel, but he was just too quick on the draw. That's gonna allow another round win to come out onto Strike X's side. And now they are up 3-2 going into round number 6. We might in fact see, we are going to see at least a 3-on-3 split, but hey, we could see that 4-2 in the favor of Strike X for a change.
All right, one swing I can get, right? One swing on the breach.
Yeah.
I understand that, right? You want to
Two.
go for it. Two swings. Two swing. Now you're looking a little bit suspect, right? So like, now you already lost one person there. Might as well. You're on site. Might as well just keep it. Three is a bit unexcusable, I have to say. You saw both of your buddies die to that, and you're like, yeah, I'm the last one alive. I'm just gonna swing it. I don't know. A little bit questionable on the plays coming out of Gunners in Paris. I understand if you're feeling a little bit desperate in situations, but you don't have a bad split so far. You have the advantage as defenders. Just sit there and wait for him to come to you. He's on rappel outside. What is he gonna do, right? Like,
Right.
you don't gotta swing everything. I mean, I know it's effective online, but that really costs Gunners in Paris the round, losing 3 from the same breach. A little bit rough, but we're gonna be transitioning onto a Church Arsenal hold with Gunners in Paris, trying to finish off their defensive half strong with a 3-3 split. And 3-3 is relatively respectable when it comes to Clubhouse. It's not fantastic, um, but I mean, it's workable to say the very least.
It's not the worst, and it's definitely much more favorable than a 5-on-1 split. And the only site that they've lost is CCTV and Cash, so we could see them possibly just have a nice, fairly even 3-on-3 split. Obviously, a 4-2 would be much better for them, but you get what you get, and you don't get upset. So far though, Strike X, they have a lot of people just rallied up outside of Dirt Tunnel. We could see a very aggressive opening, and there we go. Korn gonna pick up one onto Godville. We actually might see that 4-on-2 split. Zori now getting spotted out as well. Pre-fire will just whirl right over his head, narrowly missing him, and now Korn will try to recontest that angle for a second time. Not going to be able to pick up that kill, though, as Zori has already repositioned himself into weight room. But that man advantage still already favoring Strike X, and there's only been a minute down on the clock as now Vertical Play begins to pursue as well.
Yeah, they've already gotten the floor open. There wasn't any impact holes available to him, or at least he was on the wrong side to use the impact holes that they had previously prepped. H17's not able to save the hatch, unfortunately. Kind of stuck in a rough positioning, and KY not being able to be too aggressive on those stairs. He's looking for it, but while he's doing that, Corn's able to grab another kill by Dirt. That's going to be H17 falling this go around. And it's not
That's a
looking too good for this Gunners in Paris defense. KY is trying to take down Awakened from below, not able to quite find his kill, and Zori is grabbing a drone and then running back upstairs. Not really helping out his team right now. I'm just providing a little bit of pressure. Could be good, but it's not wasting enough time. Awakened able to grab KY.
Yep, and Impulse still on that flank watch. Very dedicated, just holding down that same angle, now forcing a 1-on-5, and it's going to be a flawless round for Strike X as Korn picks up his third onto the round. And there we go, the 4-2 split, in fact, favoring the attackers. Strike X just doing fantastic on basically any map that you put him on. This is favoring Gunners in Paris a little bit more than the previous map, but still, I've got to give it to Strike X for already having such a strong lead. And like I said earlier, we could have that snowball effect already being in motion right now for Strike X.
Yeah, and it's all about the mental game. We talked about that before. It's kind
Yep.
of talked about how people just get a little bit demoralized, and with a 2-4 staring down. However, better than the split on Cafe, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 5-1, right?
Hmm.
It's a slight improvement, but not quite enough to really give you that second win to get into the second half of the round. I'm gonna see how Strike X
Yeah.
takes it on the defensive side, looking to this time utilize the Maestro. And yeah, I think he was not utilizing him when he was on the table for CCTV holds. Really was missing out something here from Gunner's and Paris defense that I think Strike X is looking to bring to the table.
Yeah, you can give off great intel as always, and an 80 bolt Alda is just a great weapon to have from given on any person nonetheless, but a very interesting wild card pick coming out here by Noodle. He's rocking the Ella with a shotgun out of all things. Very, very surprising and spicy indeed. That's something that you might have seen Gunners in Paris want to bring. This is basically just a complete just toss-up here being done by Noodle, as if he does manage to pick off one, that's a huge advantage in the favor of Strike X, but if not, it'll be a massive blunder that they will most surely not be able to recover from in the beginning of the round.
We talked last map about Frost being brought, right? Frost now having a shield, or at
Yep.
least utilizing her shield. Ella having her shield available to her. And with Wamai and Valkyrie both losing theirs, it's no surprise that they're being utilized significantly more. I'm not sure if that's entirely the reason that she's being brought, considering the shotgun. Um, However, it's no mistaking that that the utility that they have is really shoring up some holes and otherwise very solid defensive lineups. So I'm really liking this adjustment. Godville playing a godly angle from below, not able to get Corn, unfortunately. That castle's going to remain alive for the remainder of the round.
Yep, narrowly missing out on that opportunity there. That would have been a very crucial opening frag there for Gunners in Paris, but they're going to have to just try again another time, I suppose, as it is still a 5-on-5. Korn only taking a minimal amount of damage. Now that Maverick trying to trick the wall, that's pretty much the main reason for these shotgun holes. It makes
Oh no.
H17's job much more difficult, and there we go. There's that FO12 shotgun play that I was referencing a moment ago, working out fantastically so far for Strike X, as Noodle will pick up one onto Godville. That's going to be one of the main soft destructors taken care of, but there are still two on the board. And oh my god, Gunners in Paris just trying to break open the soft wall. It's just so difficult for them right now with all those shotgun holes that were made during the preparation phase. It's so hard to watch, man.
Yeah, that definitely hurts a bit here. I think it was Wamai magnet that went off that actually took her breaching charge away when she went to open it up. However, Corn here is going to be
Ooh.
setting himself up for a run out, not quite able to get the shots onto Vixie, surviving to fight another day. Not sure if I think it was out long enough to be able to give the notification. Zori grabbing a nice kill onto Awaken. That's going to be evening up the kill count, or at least the man advantage, 4-4. As Gunner and Paris move in, pinch the defenders from Strike X.
Yep. Now 4-on-4, like you mentioned, even man situation at the moment, but now dwindling down to 30 seconds. Smoke grenade gonna go out here possibly to cover Zori, but it doesn't really matter. He'll get wall banged through that smoke nonetheless, now being brought down to about 15 health, but it doesn't matter. He'll pick up a magnificent headshot onto one, and KY gonna follow suit, but we do have Noodle still right in the back near the top of red to finish off another, but now it's just a 3-on-1. He'll have to ace, breaking down that castle barricade, but Vixie is well prepared for that wild card play. He'll immediately shut him down. That's going to be another round win here for Gunners in Paris, and a great one nonetheless.
Yeah, the brothers Godville and Vexy are not willing to take this loss easily, or if at all. Could be grabbing up a pretty commanding, I would say, victory, even if there was a little bit of flubs there. with the losing their opening frag as well as that wall positioning. A little bit awkward. However, Gunners in Paris proven that they can at least win on the attack. CCTV is proven to be one of the hardest places to hold so far for this match. Only been able to be done successfully 0 times so far. Church, on the other hand, we've seen teams have a little bit of success on it, or at least Gunners in Paris has a 50% success rate.
Yeah, they did win the first time going here, but not the second. It was in fact a flawless round for Strike
Right.
X. If you want to count the defensive hold of round number 1 down in that site, that could be up for debate for chat. I don't really want to discuss that. Uh,
I don't know. They
but
they dropped diffuser down there, so at least they made an
yeah,
attempt to plant.
and did waste a minute, so that was beautiful work nonetheless by Gunners in Paris. But it wasn't technically the site. But we're going to have StrikeX now try to defend this site. They did a decent job attacking it the second time they had to go up against it. And we already have people like Awakening, just very aggressive setup at the moment. He might go for a bullet hole spawn peek, possibly. I would honestly love to see that happen. Oh yeah, it's happening. The active ping's coming out as well. This is a perfect setup here. I really just want to see this happen. He has the crosshairs lined up, but so far no one peeking him, and he'll immediately get off that angle, recontesting it for just a split second, but Gunners and Parrish is taking far too long to try to peek him, but he will in fact spot out one. That's going to be KX immediately wiped off the face of this earth. And Strike X starting things off strong on round number 8.
Yeah, losing the sledge that early is incredibly devastating for any attack. They do have some soft destruction available to them. Of course, with Ash's buff does provide a little bit, or I guess rework, not exactly a buff, but does provide some more soft destruction available.
Wow.
Um, However, I don't know if Zori's ever going to be able to see this Vigil here. Does know that there's a Vigil somewhere around. Doesn't quite have 100% of the bead. And yeah, it looks like Zori's going to miss him. Does know he's around, however, so might not jump
Oh,
in.
oh, he finally
Oh
got
yeah, found
spotted
him.
out. Oh,
Wake is going to try to
and
run
yep.
out, and that's going to be it.
Wow. An
Play
immediate
stupid games,
reset
win
there.
stupid prizes, Vexy says, grabbing up that Vigil off the table and actually putting Gunners in Paris into a man advantage as Vexy's trying to take down Seafall. Still going to take a little bit of damage from an impact grenade. That's a C4 coming out in addition. Vexy's not going to be taken down, however.
The Nude with an immediate refrag back onto H17. We've seen a lot of even man situations come out by both of these teams, and normally it tends to defend or favor the defenders. Sorry about that. And especially now that the time is dwindling down closer and closer to 0 seconds with every passing moment here. And they also have the health advantage as well, so that's also something to look forward to as well if you are a Strike X fan. Vexy going to try and hold down that long angle leading in towards dummies, but not going to have any success. Godville getting very aggressive, though. He's just walking right through main hallway, but he's not going to even find one in compensation. Impulse just knows far too much for his well-being. He'll shut down the guy in the middle of main hallway, and now it's the 3-on-2 back in the favor of Strike X. Zori gonna try to make his way right in through Dirt Tunnel, but Noodle with his second kill of the round will shut down Vixie from above, and now Zori is just in the most unfavorable position as Impulse will pick up another kill for himself in that Arsenal corner. And there we go, another round win now in the favor of Strike X. Just a constant game of tug-of-war between these two teams on Clubhouse.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those, I would say, like crouch walk pushes. While they can be very effective for flanks, when you're sitting down like looking down the barrel of both Valkyrie and Maestro, it's not super favorable to push them without any support there. And Godville's, I'd say, I would say bad. His bad push really kind of cost them their man advantage. He went for a Hail Mary, unfortunately missed it, and now they are not quite on their match point, but getting ever so close. 5-3 right now. Going to be seeing Strike X transition up to the bedroom hold, bringing a Mira this time, and she's been kind of a favorite for bedroom as of late.
In one of the other leagues that I've commentated, Mira was the most banned operator. I think it's just because of the fact that she is so well used. She's a very versatile operator on some of these maps. She can be played on the garage of basement of Consulate, for example. That's a great example. Or even on this site, gym and bedroom. That can help Strike X try to, force Gunners and Paris to waste even more time than they already have to, especially with the possible extension out in cash room. But already we're not seeing that be the case. It appears to be more of a possible just utility dump in the middle of construction rather than a cash room setup. A little bit different, but this can definitely still work out in the favor of Strike X. And for Gunners in Paris, this is technically one of the worser sites to go as a defender, so this could possibly be a saving grace for them in a sense. That could allow them to gain a little bit of a less disadvantage, making it 4-5, but who really knows, possibly. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller at all.
Or a betting man, as we have found out.
Oh god, no, not a betting man. That is, nope.
What are you? I'm curious.
Uh, a commentator, I guess. I don't
All
even
right, I
know if I'm
got you.
qualified for that. I don't even know if I'm qualified for that, man.
I would
I
say
just
you
wear
are.
a
You're
nice
doing a great
logo.
job, fellow. And
You are as
you look
well.
even better. You look even better.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
just like to wear overqualified shirts, but you can continue.
either way, Gutters in Paris looking to have Vexy push up all by his lonesome in cash right now. Gonna be finding not too much resistance in construction, but there is someone playing the doorways. He's got to be at least a little bit careful as he falls. Knows that there was a breaching charge put onto the door. At least at the very least aware. Godville going by himself as well. And I'm just saying, kind of an interesting that Vexy and Godville are just not pushing with their team. I guess they're trying to provide potential later flanks as the wall on Jacuzzi is opened up. Still going to be a vaultable holes available. Not quite able to run in with the nerfs with Ace. I guess it was a while back now that the Ace nerfs
Yeah,
came in.
a couple of months ago, and Godville almost finding one to the player right near that gym rotational hole, but narrowly missing his shots there. Just a slight hiccup there by Gunners in Paris, but it can be made up pretty quickly, as we do have Vexy not too far away from site itself, and there we go. In fact, it will be Godville to make up for it, but 2 immediate kills come out on the side of Strike X as well, right after Godville found the first frag of the round, now making it that 4v3 in the favor of Strike X. We might have Noodle try to gain a kill of his own as well. He is very close to those players in construction. And I like this setup that was done by Strike X. They basically just made construction a stronghold, and having those mirrors in logistics is a really big nuisance to deal with here by Gunners in Paris. But now, still in that 3-on-4, really nothing much else to discuss here. Is it still the defenders are just strongly defending this part of the map, and another kill comes out by Awakened as well. Now in that 2-on-4, and now 1-on-4, and Impulse just finding the final 2 kills of the round. It's a quick win there for Strike X, as it is a 6-3 match point in their favor, I believe.
Yeah, we are in fact on match point. It was looking like an okay attack for the most part from Gunners in Paris. They had somebody watching the drop from construction, or I guess the drop from gym. They had a player that was putting pressure into construction and had their main assault on Jacuzzi wall while somebody was playing Windows. Unfortunately, they lost both their players on Jacuzzi, one right after another, and that really just it really stifled their progress moving forward, and it wasn't able to really pick it up since they had committed to more of a split strategy. No one's really in a position to refrag each other. No one's in a position to really put pressure in the same place, and they were just picked off one at a time, which is just never what you want to see. Could be moving over to CCTV. StrikeX trying to prove once and for all that this site can in fact be hold at some point. Noodles again bringing the Ella. Did put in some work last time. Not surprised seeing it brought again.
Yeah, she was able to pick up the first, or the only 2 kills for Strike X, but like I just said, only 2. It wasn't enough for them to win the round, so it's going to have to be a much more of a team-based effort here by Strike X if they want to win this final round. Gunners in Paris, looking down that gun barrel of match point is never something that you want to have to do. I think their morale has basically just gone down to 0, if not in the negative numbers. I don't know how much gas Gunners in Paris has left in their metaphorical car, essentially, here, as this could be their final round here before the match is over.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see a similar sort of attack, right? A very, I guess, and I hate to say this yet again, we need to see them winning their gunfights if they want to win this attack.
Yeah.
They did it previously on CCTV. They were able to get the picks that they needed, but now StrikeX knows where they're going to be pushing from. They know what to look out for, and they know that they had some difficulties Maverick tricking it, And
Oh,
Corn
no.
realizes that it's going to be getting a nice early frag onto H17, and that's going to be for free, almost for free. Shoot, proving me wrong, not able to position himself out of there. Vexy picking up the refrag. And a
Yeah,
question mark from H17. You got shot in the head, man. That's what happened.
yeah, I don't really know why you're questioning that. I think most Siege players should know that it is a one-shot headshot mechanic, and it doesn't matter as long as you have an 80 bullet auto just to body shot players like Godville. We just saw that immediately being done there by CF. 4v3 again in the favor of Strike X. I sound like a broken record saying 4-on-3 or something else in the favor of Strike X. They just seem to be the favorable team here. Those magnets coming out here by Impulsive to possibly slow down the push by Gunnerz and Paris from the main wall. And with them still having Raptors control, this is looking to be a really great setup here for Strike X still. They're going to try to contest, though, breaking down that castle barricade, and I think they're slowly but surely trying to make their way in towards sight as those smoke grenades do in fact land onto the main floor. That proximity alarm though will give away one. Impulsive trying to find one, but Vixie with a great shot, but CF gonna immediately clap back. Now a 3-on-2 with carrier down, but there is still one outside of the main wall. That will be Zori to find two very important kills, and now it's just up to Awakening, but he'll immediately clap back. This is in fact winnable. Awakening to find the last two kills of the round. A great clutch by the Mute in the middle of Cash. And there goes all the GGs by all the players. It's a 2-0 map victory for Strike X. 7-3 on Clubhouse and 7-1 on Cafe Dostoyevsky.
Strike X takes the win as Awaken rubs off the rest of the G Fuel from his nostrils. Fantastic gameplay that I've seen from Strike X. I don't know what else is to say besides they were just playing very good Siege. Playing better Siege even. And choosing their aggressive times very well. Well,
Yeah.
I lost all of my channel points if I was betting here. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first match of week 4. Yes, it is week 4
Yeah.
of SFCL. We want to give some thank yous to our fill-in production staff for the day, Ferme and Rigel. Thank you guys so much for coming and helping us out with this event. And if you have not already, Rigel, it's Rigel. I'm so sorry, guys. It's Ferme and Rigel. um, if you guys haven't already, please go sign up for the qualifiers for SCS. They're gonna be kind of a fantastic tournament, I would say. I think there's 32 teams signed up. I think there might be some more. But
Yeah.
either way,
Say
something
very
like
big
that.
number nonetheless. But yeah, yeah, you can continue. It's okay. I
It's
don't
more
have
than
much
I
to
can
say.
count. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow, I would say. And it looks to
That's
be
fair.
for on Wednesday. Yeah, Legion Esports versus Revan Academy at 6 p.m. EST, and Gremlin Squad versus Dark Esports at 9 p.m. EST. I thought Gremlin Squad dropped, so I'm not sure they're actually playing that match. I'm sure I'll get a word from Tofu here in a second.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. But either way, Legion Esports Revan Academy will be playing tomorrow, so make sure to tune in. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I've been Booker.
Yep. And I've been fellow. So, oh, yeah.
Tofu wants to do an interview.
You want an
Yes.
interview? All right.
Yeah, we could do interviews. Never
We've
mind.
got some time to kill.
You got,
I don't see why not.
uh, you got some time to kill.
Yeah, not much though, but it's enough.
Yeah, awesome. Who do we have here?
Hello.
Aiden.
Aiden.
How's it going,
Yes.
man?
Good. How are you?
Little bit in awe at the play there at the end. That was a fantastic play
Oh, thank
from
you.
the yeah, you did a very good job there. What do you think really secured the win for your team this series?
I mean, really, I think it just comes down to we know, like, we just understand what we're doing better because, like, these guys, like, sometimes they're bringing, like, the incorrect lineups for, like, some of the sites. And yeah, like, there was, I think it was the first round whenever they, like, faked us into thinking that it
Uh-huh.
was downstairs. But that was not what cost us that round. We just made the mistake of not getting the trades where we're supposed to and also just misdroning.
That's
Um,
fair.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was gonna ask about that, yeah, but you already answered my question, so thank you for that, Awaken.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta give them that, right? You gotta give them at least
Oh yeah.
one. Kinda keep them in their place.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, what are you kinda looking forward to? Do you think anybody in this league, since you guys kinda joined in late, do you think anybody in this league is really gonna give you guys a challenge going into playoffs?
I mean, Not really, because Dexterity left, and, I know Bix, I'm really good friends with him. I know that he's good and that the people on his team are, usually really good. But, like, the rest of the people here, since we beat Arise and we've just now beat, team was that Gunners in Paris, like, I think that we have pretty much a 100% chance of, getting a clean sweep and just winning every game from here on.
Yeah, I think that's everything I got. Thank you so much for joining us, Aiden. Bentley, got any questions for him?
I mean, I don't think I do. Great performance. I loved casting it. It's great to just be here first day and being introduced to a great one. Yeah, I,
Mhm.
th- I think we're good here.
Oh, also, I'd like to add, um, recently my mouse skates just wore all the way down, so I played this game without mouse skates. So, like,
Oh,
Huh.
yeah,
It's a little bit of a
interesting.
flex.
a little bit.
All
A
We'll
little
right.
bit of
see.
a flex. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Aiden.
Yeah,
Really appreciate your match and hope to cast more in the future.
for sure. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Great night, dude.
Well, thank
Congrats
you
on the
guys for
win.
tuning in to SFCL. Fella, got any closing statements here?
Nope. I hope to see you guys again in the near future. I had an absolute blast. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching it. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a follow, maybe even a sub if you would like to spend a little money here. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say. I had a great time here.
Yep. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care.